24 hours in the new destinations, new places with the different objectives, and that is called the tourism, or that traveling is called the tourism activities. And it is counted if it must be less than 1 year. Just like you go visit to the America for 6 months, 7 months, and also the Europe and other countries, and that is called the tourism activity or the travel. And it must be less than 1 year. And it starts from the more than 24 hours. If you visit Pokhara for an hour and for 2 hours, for 3 hours, that is also called the tourism activities. And what is meant by the tourism industry? These activities need certain types of the services and infrastructure, and also the service providers. Just like the training center promotes or they produce the service providers, and travel agency provides your travel tickets and the other different types of booking the hotels and the hotels, transportation, and other activities and other facilities are included, are defined or included as a tourism industry. Training center is a part of tourism industry. Travel agency is a part of tourism industry. Hotels, transports, and other agencies, please remember. And that is called the tourism industry. If the training center produces something, provides services something, and that is also accounted as a value of the tourism industry. Similarly, you can easily find out the travel agency, hotels, transports, and other activities. All together provides the services to those people who are interested and who are going to travel from one place to the another place. And we have two pictures. If you go abroad, that is called the international tourism activities or the global tourism. But if you visit from within the territory of the country, that is called the domestic tourism. If you visit Muktina, if you visit Manthana, if you visit Pokhara, if you visit other places, that is called the domestic tourism activities. This is the basic thing. And if we talk about the Nepal, you can easily find out the historically we have 2-3 major situations. When we talk about the modern era, it started in the beginning of the modern era and the led or the ruled by the King Prithvinarayan Saha up to the Janga Bahadur Rana's regime, you can easily find out tourism industry was banned. Means the foreigners were not entertained properly by the state. But at the Rana regime period, they also try to control movement of the foreigners. But after second phase or the last phase of the Janga Bahadur, he accepted and also gave the permission to travel foreigners, particularly French and the Britain, for the trade purpose, and that was the beginning of our tourism industry. And then after 1950, you can easily find out slowly and gradually our tourism activities got the acceleration. And then after nowadays we have a scenario. That is the more historical part. Now, why it is important? Why is the major industry in our country or in the world? If you observe the international fact and figure, in accordance with the WTO, World Tourism Organization, you can easily find out its total contribution to our global GDP, approximately 5%. And 5% is not negligible, percentage or the contribution. And if you observe here, in the world, one tourism industry creates the one employment opportunities out of 12 people. Means if you conduct the survey, among the 12 people, you can find the one person is engaged with the travel agency or the training center and other agencies. Please remember. And in this situation, it also creates it creates the importance of the tourism industry for the employment opportunities in the developed countries. Please remember. If you observe the industrial value, if you have to produce large unit of the goods and service for export purpose, but if you compare industrial value of the US, 1 trillion, 30% of the world's export of the commercial goods, merchandise goods, please remember, and 6% of the total export. If you want to earn the foreign currency through the export trade, you need the 30% commercial goods. You need the in total export. But if you have developed the preparatory tourism industry, it also can earn huge foreign currency equivalent to the 30% and the 6%. And if you observe the world trade, you can easily find out people travel or they travel from one place to the other place. It is from increasing trend and its annual growth rate is the 6.5%. And this is the medium one. Now, what is the situation of Nepal? If you observe here, why I have selected the 2003 data and why I have selected the 2013. If you observe, this is the comparative purpose and what is the situation, what was the situation in the 2003 and what is the situation in 2013. And it gives you the trend and the status and also our progress situation of the tourism industry. And we have different indicators. One is the tourist arrival, and second one is the purpose, and the country-wise, and foreign exchange, and other, just like you can easy number of hotels and trained manpower. Now look here. If you observe in 2003, 3 lakhs people visited Nepal, and almost maybe the 75% by air, and also the remaining you can easily find out the by land, and that almost you can easily find out the Indian tourists, and by air foreigners and plus Indian also. If you observe here, state is a major indicator to measure our industrial tourism industry's performance. At that time period, 9.6 days, one individual tourist came in Nepal and they stayed only 9.6. It means if there is a short, what happened? And if it is a long, what happened? If it is a long, means tourists spend more and involve different activities. And if it is short, it means the activities will be short and the expenditure will be short. And it means, look here, at the time period, 22.7% annual growth rate at the time period. Now, situation is the 2013 and 2011. Look here, 7 lakhs people visited Nepal here, and the average state you can little bit progress, and 22.1% annual growth rate. And after the Constitutional Assembly's election and the sorting, we have political stability, and in 2013, yes, in total number it is quite impressive. It is improving. But if you observe the average state, it is declining. It is just 12.6 days stay, and it shows us the negative form in comparison with in the case of the annual growth rate. And if you observe here, at present moment, our situation, our status is not good, and we have to do more. Yes, we are getting the political stability, little bit industrial, and the tourism environment is improving, and also we are developing the infrastructure. We are also promoting the tourism industry, but still our annual growth rate is found negative. That is the scenario. Now, what is the purpose? Look here. Pleasure, traveling, business, official, meeting, graphic, and studying other. How many numbers of the tourism products we have? We have religious products, we have nature products, we have business and other minor ones. But now, if you remember that in 2003, only 29% of the tourists came for pleasure. Now look here, 54.9%. And what is the hidden activities behind the pleasure? Religious is not a pleasure. nature by monitoring and the other different types of activity, it is not a pleasure. Now, our tourism industry, where we are going, this is the major question. And second is look at trekking. Trekking is a good product because we have large number of the Himalayas and and beautiful Himalayas. But look here, it's declining. And business declining means our economy is not expanding. And it is not, it also indicates, foreigners and the and also the particular Indians and the non-Indians are not coming for the business purpose. It means our economic activities are not, going from, right direction. And official look here. It is also declining. Meeting and seminars, it is also declining. It is very important. And rafting, yes, in 2003. No information or maybe the foreigners did not involve in the rafting at that area. And studying others 33%. Now look here. In the 2013, our structure proposed is changing, and it is not just like the rafting, studying and the meeting, but the declining situation. And we have three major products. One is the nature, another is the religious, another is the other activities. But the here situation is the almost students came here for pleasure activities, and it indicates the other things. Please remember, economic expansion, nature is not attracting to the foreigners, and also the religious tourism is not attracting our tourism industry. And this is is not good to us. And by country, look here. If you observe here, just like Indian tourists came for religious activities, particularly. And just like to visit Pashupatinath, Muktinath, and the Buddha and other. And in this situation, it is inclining, good for us. And but not in vain, it is declining situation. But if you go, why I have selected the China and USA? China, look here. In 2003, only 2.2 Chinese people visited Nepal. Maybe the business purpose, maybe the religious purpose. But if you observe the 11.2%, and if we achieve certain percentage to attract the Chinese tourists to visit Nepal for religious purpose as well as the other purpose, please remember. But if you observe the Americans, 5.6 to the 7.4%, and it may be pleasure purpose or the intelligence purpose. And in this situation, look here, our structure is changing, and if we have to promote our tourism industry, attract the tourism, we have to develop the tourism products. Now, if you observe the foreign exchange, look here. In 2003, percentage of the total value of the commercial export, 23.1%, and the total value of exports of the goods and services, 15.2%, and 8.2% of the total foreign exchange. Now, 2013 and 14, if you observe here, how its value is increasing, and it is also increasing. But if you observe in the total foreign exchange, it is declining. Contribution export trade को जुन value छ त्यो चाहिँ तपाईको बढेको छ. That is the situation, and this is good for us because we have a huge trade deficit. Now, in this situation, number of hotels, and after the establishment of our federalism or the federal country, you can easily find out a little bit political stability leads to increase the number of hotels and number of beds. And that is the good for us. And our infrastructure is going, and it means we have investment in the tourism industry, particularly hotels, star hotels and non-star hotels are increasing. And if we have good hotels, and it also attract our foreign tourists. But in the case of the expedition, you look here, it is also inclining a little bit. just like the number of the team, 152 teams visiting, or the mountain teams visited Nepal, and the 1080 people member involved there, and it created the 1423 employment opportunities to our local people. And in 2030, yes, number of teams inclining, and number of mountain inclining, and also employment opportunities also inclining. Means its positive implication can be found at the local level as well as the national level. And the trained manpower is also inclining. Means our tourism industries, if you divide two parts, what is the infrastructure as well as the further facilities or the number of the tourist arrival, you can easily find out our infrastructure, including training centers, hotels, and also the trained manpowers are improving. And it gives us the positive indication or the encouraging indication of our tourism industry's future. But if you observe the arrival as well as the average stay, we can easily find out it is not, in total number it is good, but the average stay and also the growth is not, good for us, for the tourism industry. यति गरौँ बाहिर काट्नु होला गाह्रो भइरहेको छ भाकर मसिरहेको